WKBW, 1520 on your dial. WKBW, for music and news, it sets the style. WKBW, the swinging station on the dial. WKBW, 1520, 1520.
WKBW, Pulse Beat News.
WKBW temperature 79 degrees. Complete weather service follows the news from KB Action Central, presented by the bank that's big in services, the Big E, the Erie County Savings Bank. Just in from the town of Tonawanda, an unidentified man has been rushed to Kenmore Mercy Hospital following a two-car smash-up at Colvin and Sheridan Drive. Hospital attendants are withholding the victim's name, pending notification of relatives. Further details and next Pulse Beat News at 1:15. As reported first on the 1520 line, a 60-year-old University of Buffalo maintenance man died today at Kenmore Mercy Hospital, victim of a vicious knife attack by one of three teenage hoodlums. The victim, Arthur Duncan of 162 Heath, died of multiple stab wounds suffered in the attack at the foot of Hurdle Avenue. Charged with first-degree manslaughter were Bobby Fox of 498 7th, Eddie Anderson of 2047 Niagara, and Eddie Tisby of 132 Dearborn, all 16 years of age. On the KB police blotter, two thugs, one armed with a gun, held up and robbed the proprietor of the Sail Inn Tavern at 435 Military Road. The hold-up victim, 46-year-old Peter Puma of 876 Prospect, told police he was counting up the day's receipts when the two walked in and demanded the money. KB reporters at St. Joe's Intercommunity Hospital in Cheektowaga report a Buffalo woman, 44-year-old Mrs. Margaret Inda of 163 Triador, died today of injury sustained in a truck-car collision a few hours earlier. The fatal accident occurred at the intersection of Walden Avenue and the Pavement Road in Lancaster. In Niagara County, a 38-year-old Youngstown man was injured in a two-car smash-up at the Porter Center and the Brayley Road intersection in the town of Porter. In fair condition at Ransomville General Hospital is Ronald Rolls of Meadow Drive, Youngstown. Closer to home, a 64-year-old Buffalo man was admitted to OLV Hospital following an auto smash-up on the Davis Road in East Aurora. In satisfactory condition is Leo Omler of 1930 Niagara. KB covers the streets of the city. A 7-year-old girl injured on a three-car smash-up at Elmwood and Amherst. Taken to Millard Fillmore was little Carol DePasquale of 116 Garner Avenue. She is not believed to be seriously injured. KB covers the court beat. The husband of heiress Joanne Warner Walsh pleaded innocent to a bad check charge today in Cheektowaga Town Court. Judge Joseph Piszczynski adjourned the case until August 16th and released Vivian Charles Walsh, 35, in $250 bail. Bail was posted by Paul Weidman, a Buffalo attorney representing the Peerless Insurance Company of New York. Walsh, an economics professor at UB, was arrested in New York City on Friday night. He was returned here Saturday night by plane to face the fraudulent check charge brought by the Airways Hotel of Cheektowaga. Just in from Miami, an Eastern Airlines plane with 33 passengers and a crew of 5 aboard was commandeered on its Miami to Tampa run today and forced to fly to Havana. An airline spokesman said it had been commandeered. The plane landed safely in Cuba. On the KB Washington News ticker, the administration has revised the increase it wants in Social Security taxes to help pay for the proposed medical care for the aged plan. It now wants the tax increased by 10%. State Secretary Rusk says economizing on foreign aid to help pay for the defense buildup would assure a victory for Russia. Hurricane Anna sent its 85-mile-an-hour winds ripping into southern British Honduras today, but began to weaken as it moved overland. Finally, the latest C.E. Hooper radio audience survey proves once again the popularity of WKBW over all other local stations by a wide margin. A 2-to-1 margin, as a matter of fact. That's the way we like it. WKBW-Radio wishes to thank you, the listener, for this vote of confidence. The weather in a moment.
Would you pay $200 for an item you could buy for $180? Of course you wouldn't. But you may be if you don't take the time to stop and figure how much extra it may be costing you when buying on time. Now, the Big E, the Erie County Savings Bank, makes it simple to find the extra costs in time buying with their free Big E Quick Credit Cost Computer. This is an easy-to-carry, easy-to-figure computer that may save you a great deal of money. First, in minutes, you'll know the extra amount in finance charges you pay on major purchases. And second, it points up the money-stretching benefits of the Big E Money Mobilizer Loan Plan. This way, you would borrow the money you need from your savings account, then pay cash, eliminating high finance charges. And by reducing your loan with regular monthly installments, the money that has remained in your savings account will earn more in dividends than you pay in interest on your loan. Isn't it time you know how much extra time buying can cost? Pick up a free, quick credit cost computer at your nearest Big E office. It's just one more service of the Big E, the Erie County Savings Bank.
Mr. Weatherman, take the cue and tell us what the weather's going to do.
Thunderstorms in the area tonight, possibly of severe intensity with hail and damaging winds. Continued warm and humid through tomorrow. Isolated thundershowers likely again tomorrow afternoon or night. Low tonight about 70, high tomorrow in the 80s. Small craft warnings are up. Present KB temperature, 79 degrees. Relative humidity, 80%. The winds from the south-southwest at 12. Lake Erie water temperature, 72 degrees. This edition of Pulse Beat News presented by the Big E. Start earning the Big E dividend for your savings dollars. Open your account at the Big E, the Erie County Savings Bank.
Repeating, the K-Big story of the moment.
Man injured in town of Tonawanda smash-up.
More news any moment. More news any moment. More news any moment.
W K B W Pulse Beat News.
WKBW temperature up to 82 degrees. Complete weather service follows the news from KB Action Central. WKBW blazes the trail of fast-breaking news. A music instructor from Niagara Falls has been killed in a plane crash near Austin, Texas. The victim was 29-year-old Alan Darby, a graduate of the State University College of Education at Fredonia. Darby had been flying a crop-dusting plane part-time to pay for advanced studies in music. Just in from the town of Tonawanda, an unidentified man rushed to Kenmore Mercy Hospital following a two-car smash-up at Coleman and Sheridan Drive. Hospital attendants are still withholding the victim's name, pending notification of relatives. On the KB Washington News ticker, the administration has revised the increase it wants in Social Security taxes to finance the proposed program of medical care for the aged. It boosted the recommended increase by 10%. Welfare Secretary Abraham Ribicoff announced the change in cost estimates at the opening of congressional hearings on the controversial program. No action is slated on the program this year, but the administration is attempting to lay the groundwork for action next year. In other news from Capitol Hill, the Tunisian ambassador to the U.S. says the free world should act to settle the Bizerti conflict before, as he put it, another world does. Habib Bourguiba Jr. apparently was referring to the communists when he used the phrase another world. Bourguiba made a statement following a meeting with Secretary of State Dean Rusk. Said Bourguiba, the situation does not look at all encouraging. Well, President Kennedy is back in the White House after a weekend at Cape Cod. His schedule is clear for the day. He'll get in some final work on the Berlin crisis speech he plans to deliver to the nation tomorrow night. He worked on the address during the weekend at Hyannisport. A KB profile in death. A wounded 15-year-old girl described today how her father shot and killed her 4 brothers and sisters and himself at their home near Midland, Texas. The girl crawled 2.5 miles with a bullet in her stomach to a neighbor to tell of the shooting. A note found near the bodies read, "The kids have to go. They'll have a better life. Mother is coming." Elsewhere, the U.S. is planning a new experiment at its exploration of the moon within a few days. Technicians will try to put a launching platform into orbit and then use it to push a probe package more than 500,000 miles into space. The KB Weather Eye reports Hurricane Anna, reported to be diminishing as it moves inland over the Central American country of British Honduras. The Weather Bureau has warned, however, that heavy rains will cause flash floods throughout that country. The storm has winds up to 85 miles an hour, and squalls of gale intensity have been forecast for all day.
Mr. Weatherman, take the cue and tell us what the weather's going to do.
And it's not going to be too nice around here either. Thunderstorms in the area tonight, possibly of severe intensity with hail and damaging winds. Continued warm and humid through tomorrow. Isolated thundershowers likely again tomorrow afternoon or night. Low tonight about 70, high tomorrow in the 80s. Small craft warnings are up. Present KB temperature, 82 degrees. Relative humidity, 74%. The winds from the southwest at 10. Lake Erie, 72 degrees. Remember, KB pays cash for news. $1.52 for every news tip used on the air. $15.20 for the big story of the week. Last week's K-Big News tipster was Mr. Russ Parcino of Buffalo.
Repeating, the K-Big story of the moment.
Music instructor from Niagara Falls killed in Texas.
More news any moment. More news any moment. More news any moment.
W K B W Pulse Beat News.
WKBW temperature standing at 73 degrees. Complete weather service follows the news from KB Action Central, presented by the Phillip Builders, who are making a sensational free offer all this month with every siding job. But you heard it first on WKBW, as usual. Always hours ahead of everyone else. 3 employees of the John W. Cowper Construction Company were struck by lightning today while working on the new West Seneca School for Retarded Children. One of the victims is reported to have died at Mercy Hospital. However, this has not yet been officially confirmed. Another victim, 44-year-old Joseph Soika of 64 Park Avenue, Depew, was rushed to Our Lady of Victory Hospital with undetermined injuries. KB Mobile Newsman Don Keller is at the scene right now. We expect a direct report within the next half hour. Stay tuned to the 1520 line. The Tono and the father and son were rushed to Kenmore Mercy Hospital this afternoon following a 2-car smash-up at Colvin and Sheridan Drive. Hospital attendants told KB News that 47-year-old Paul Hoffman, Sr., and his 19-year-old son, Paul Jr., both of 109 Panero Drive, suffered multiple contusions. Special to KB Action Central from Washington. The United States demanded today that Cuba immediately release a hijacked Eastern Airlines plane together with its passengers and crew. The request was relayed to Cuba through the Swiss government since this country has broken off diplomatic relations with the Castro regime. In other action on Capitol Hill, the Senate Foreign Relations Committee has approved its $4,326,500,000 foreign aid authorization measure, including long-range borrowing authority to finance economic development loans. The vote was 13-4. And speaking of money, the administration is getting ready for next year's legislative struggles. The program of medical care for the aged proposed by the administration apparently doesn't even have a chance of coming up for action this year. But the House Ways and Means Committee opened hearings on it today, and the administration began laying the groundwork for a possible showdown next year. Welfare Secretary Abraham Ribicoff appeared first to tell how the administration proposes to finance the program through Social Security taxes. He revealed that the administration has boosted the increase it recommends in Social Security taxes to pay for the medical plan. The boost could increase Social Security taxes as much as $27.50 a year for some persons. Grow old gracefully. Finally, Easterners are plagued with a sultry heat wave. The temperature in New York City is in the muggy 90s for the 7th consecutive day, and the KB Weather Eye says there is little chance of immediate relief. The weather in a moment.
The Phillip Builders. You want to remodel your home, but you're busy. You want someone to take over. You want a contractor whose service is complete. And that's the Phillip Builders. They'll give free estimates. They'll obtain building permits and inspection at no cost to you. They'll arrange full coverage job insurance. The Phillip Builders will completely remodel your kitchen and bathroom, apply siding and roofing, and large present rooms, or add an extra room, a porch, or a patio. And they'll do it within 10 days. Planning and design service is free at the Phillip Builders. Call now, TF2-2064. Don't miss this free offer. Your choice of 2 aluminum combination screen and storm doors or an Anderson thermopane picture window installed absolutely free with every siding job. No down payment and up to 10 years to pay. Call anytime, any day. Call right now. TF2-2064. That's TF2-2064. The Phillip Builders.
Mr. Weatherman, take the cue and tell us what the weather's gonna do.
Thunderstorms in the area tonight, possibly of severe intensity with hail and damaging winds, so tie everything down. Continued warm and humid through tomorrow. Isolated thunder showers likely again tomorrow afternoon or night. Low tonight about 70. High tomorrow in the 80s. Small craft warnings are up. Present KB temperature, 73 degrees. Relative humidity, 90%. The winds from the west at 10. Lake Erie water temperature, 72. Remember, KB pays cash for news. The number to call with your news tip, TT4-5107. This edition of Pulse Beat News has been presented by the Phillip Builders, where all jobs get the personal supervision of the owner himself. One of Buffalo's better builders. For free estimate, call TF2-2064.
Repeating, the K-Big Story of the moment.
Workmen reported killed by lightning in West Seneca.
More news any moment. More news any moment. More news any moment.
27 million smart, thrifty women earn the best
They choose from 1,500 name brand gifts.
with S&H Green Stamps.
Shop at the many fine stores and service stations that give.
S&H Green Stamps.
Smart, thrifty women get only the best at Loblaws. Best in foods, values, savings, and stamps. S&H Green Stamps with purchases at Loblaws. I know somebody's going to call in and say, the airport isn't in West Seneca. No, it isn't, and we know it, but the rain out in that general Cheektowaga, West Seneca area has dropped the mercury out there to about 10 degrees lower than it is in the city. Once the clouds go by, you'll find it kind of steamy when the temperature starts back up again. 82 in the city, 73 right now at the airport.
Listen to me for a while at 1520 on your dial. It's your favorite station for music and news. Wkbw.
WKBW. Pulse Beat News.
WKBW temperature standing at 73 degrees. Complete weather service follows the news from KB Action Central, presented by the Carling Brewing Company of Cleveland, Ohio. Brewers of Carling's Black Label Beer, America's fastest growing beer. Well, the news is certainly breaking fast here in this area. One man reported killed by a lightning bolt in West Seneca. For the complete story, come in Ace KB newsman Don Keller.
From out of the black clouds of a sudden thunderstorm came a devastating bolt of lightning this afternoon here at the new hospital on East and West Road in West Seneca, striking a shed in which two men had taken shelter. One man is tentatively reported to be dead at Mercy Hospital. He's identified as 29-year-old Desmond Osborne of 268 Ashland Avenue, Buffalo. Injured at OLV Hospital at this moment is John Syka, 44 years old, of 64 Park Avenue, Depew. The men were employed by the John W. Culper Company as carpenters. A witness, Henry Michalik, 41 of 118 Wood Avenue, told me he had turned around to put a shirt on, and when he turned back, the two men were lying on the ground. Out of a sudden thunderstorm in the middle of the summer comes tragedy. Don Keller and KB News Cruiser 3, back now to Irv Weinstein and Action Central.
Thanks, Don. We'll check back with you later. Wherever news breaks, KB is there first. A holdup reported at 1534 Hurdle Avenue. A desk lieutenant from Precinct 17 chased the suspect at the rear of 681 Parkside, slammed him over the head with a gun. The suspect escaped, however, disappeared in the vicinity of Admiral Road. Police are converging on the scene. We'll have further details on later Pulse Beat News. The only report we have now, we do not know exactly what place was held up. The suspect is wearing a black shirt, reported carrying a bag full of greenbacks. WKBW blazes the trail of fast-breaking news. A music instructor from Niagara Falls has been killed in a plane crash near Austin, Texas. The victim was 29-year-old Alan Darby, a graduate of the State University College of Education at Fredonia. Darby had been flying a crop-dusting plane part-time to pay for advanced studies in music. The plane crashed. In other KB News headlines, the U.S. has demanded that Cuba release an Eastern Airlines plane which was forced to fly from Miami to Havana this morning. The U.S. demanded Cuba immediately released the plane together with its crew and passengers. The request was relayed to Havana through the Swiss government since the U.S. has broken off diplomatic relations with the Castro regime. In Washington, the Senate Foreign Relations Committee has approved a $4.3 billion foreign aid authorization measure. Finally, the UN Secretary General has arrived in Tunisia in an effort to settle the dispute between Tunisia and France over Bizerte. The weather in a moment.
I like it, we like it, they like it, you like it, Carly. Like it, Black Label. Like it, they like it, Carling Black Label. They like it, you like it. Taste is gold, sparkling brew. People like it, you will too. Carly, like it, Black Label. Like it, they like it, Carling Black Label beer.
Yes, people like Carling Black Label. They like its light and lively flavor. It's top quality. Yours to enjoy everywhere at the friendly, popular price. Try Black Label. You'll like it too.
Carling Black Label. Like it, we like it, they like it, you like it too. Carling Black Label.
The Carling Brewing Company of Cleveland, Ohio.
It's the weatherman. Take the cue and tell us what the weather's going to do.
Thunderstorms in the area tonight, possibly of severe intensity with hail and damaging winds. Continued warm and humid through tomorrow. Isolated thunder showers likely again tomorrow afternoon or night. Low tonight about 70. High tomorrow in the 80s. Small craft warnings are up. Present KB temperature 73 degrees. Relative humidity 90%. The winds from the west at 10 miles an hour. This edition of Pulse Beat News presented by the Carling Brewing Company of Cleveland, Ohio. Brewers of Carling's Black Label Beer. America's fastest growing beer.
Repeating. The K-Big Story of the moment.
Construction worker killed by bolt of lightning and hold-up man on the loose.
Listen to me for a while at 1520 on your dial. In Buffalo, the greatest for music and news. WKBW.
You're hearing the hits and hitting the heights with the even newer WKBW.